Morning.
Hello.
Okay, today we're talking about embracing the truth. And in my message research this week, I actually ran across a poem that's just perfect to begin my talk this morning. And it's by our favorite author, Anonymous. And it goes like this. I am the new year. I am an unspoiled page in your book of time. I am your next chance at the art of living. I am your opportunity to practice what you have learned during the last 12 months of your life. All that you sought the past year and failed to find is hidden in me. I'm waiting for you to search it out again, and this time with more determination. All the good that you tried to do and didn't achieve last year is mine to grant, providing you have clearer intention and fewer conflicting beliefs. In me lies the potential of all that you dreamed but did not dare to do, all that you hoped but did not perform, all that you prayed for and did not yet experience. These dreams slumber lightly, waiting to be awakened by the touch of an enduring purpose. Yes, I am the new year. So this Sunday, the last Sunday of 2013, as we conclude our theme, A December to Remember, we're going to prepare for the new year. This morning, we're going to set the stage for 2014 and all of its promise and potential. But all of its promise and potential will remain unfulfilled and unexperienced unless we are actively involved in the process of bringing it into fruition. So today I want to set that stage to be actively involved in that process. And I'm not talking about outer activity. That comes later, because we know that what's out there is a mirror of what's in here, right? As a result of what we're going to look at this morning, we're going to look at our inner activity, what's going on inside. Because we do understand that we live life from the inside out. What we experience out in the world is a direct result of what we're experiencing within us. We connect with the infinite mind of God and use God's creative power through our minds, through our consciousness. And what we know is that this creative power of God is a neutral force. Okay, that's an interesting concept there. We call it the law, and it automatically acts upon what we put into it, what we think into it. And if that's confusing for you, just like on the Apple iPhone, there is an app for that. Well, there's a class for that. And if you want to know more about how the law works, if you want to know more about basic science of mind teaching, come see me. We'll pick a class and we'll start that class right up and get going this year. But we're going to do a little work this morning in consciousness to set that stage for 2014 and for a year of fulfilled dreams and a life lived richer, fuller, with a life of love, joy, peace, and harmony, a life of deep spiritual awareness and connection. So is everybody ready for that? Are we up for that? All right, yes. Great. All right. We're going to take a look at two things this morning, both of which will take your active involvement and participation, hence the paper and pens. So first we're going to take a look at release. Now in the past I've had flash paper with a little candle, and we've written things on them and released them, they just burst into there. Well, I dug out my flash paper yesterday and I thought, okay, and it all crumbled. So apparently it has an expiration date. It doesn't last for a year. I'll order more closer to next year and we'll do that one again. But we're going to start with by talking a little bit about a famous story, which is one of Rich's favorites. You've heard of Mark Twain's story of the jumping frog of Calaveras County, right? Everyone's heard of that? Okay. This frog could outjump any frog around. He was the champion of all champions until one day a stranger came along and opened the frog's mouth on the sly, and he filled it with quail shot. The frog heaved and hunched, but he was so weighted down that he couldn't budge, and so he lost to the stranger's untrained frog. In any race, and Allison knows this because she's a runner, the athletes are careful to carry no more weight than necessary. Because what happens if you try to carry it slows you down, right? We know that to win a race, we must travel light. We must put off all excess baggage, and we have to streamline ourselves. Cars are even designed, in a streamlined fashion so that they go sleeker and faster. Yet, even knowing this, we sometimes weigh ourselves down. We weigh ourselves down by clinging to mistakes that we've made, by going over them and worrying about them and continually condemning ourselves for having made them. We are the only animal on this earth that relives an experience over and over and over. When the lion kills the giraffe, he doesn't go back and think, oh man, I wonder if that giraffe had a family. I wonder if the little babies are cared. I feel so bad about it. No! We're the only ones that beat ourselves up over and over and over again for mistakes that we have made. And we weigh ourselves down by continually looking at the hurdles in our life and by magnifying them rather than looking to the finish line. We weigh ourselves down with the fear that this or that circumstance is going to go wrong or work against us, and we weigh ourselves down with regrets for what we did do or didn't do, what we did say or what we didn't say. Oh man, have you ever gotten to that point? Wow, that was a perfect time. I should have said this, but it was like 3 hours before. I do that. Even though, like the jumping frog of Calaveras County, we're made of champion stock, and we are, because we're all manifestations of God, because remember, if you were here last week, you now know that you are pre-approved. We can't win when we are weighted down. So this morning, I want us to all take a hold of ourselves and shake the lead that has been weighing us down. Shake it out. We're going to get rid of that lead. Get the lead out, right? Okay. I want us to streamline ourselves for success by throwing out and refusing to accept, again, any ideas of defeat, limitation, or discouragement that have been holding us back. In other words, this morning we're going to do some releasing to allow us to jump freely, effortlessly, easily, gracefully into the new year. Ernest Holmes said, in The Science of Mind, it is necessary that we release all thoughts as well as things that clutter up our lives. Wow, that's huge. That's huge. Take a moment right now and close your eyes. And just take a deep breath and get settled into your seat. Think about this past year, and maybe even before. Is there anything you would like to release? Is there any grievance? Any anger? How about jealousy? Envy? Annoyance? Perhaps someone who needs forgiveness. Or perhaps there's a habit you have that you would like to release. What do you have in your consciousness that is weighing you down right now? When that comes to you, write it down on the white strip of paper. Remember, once you release it, you won't take it back. You're making the commitment through this exercise to let it go. No longer dwelling on it, beating yourself up over it, focusing on it, talking about it, using it as an excuse. When you are ready, when you have it written down, hold your paper up and Suzanne will come around with the bowl.
Read it out loud?
No. You can fold it over as many times as you want, because what's going to happen is it's going in the garbage. It's going out with the trash. You are releasing it. They're all going to go out in the trash. But before we throw it out, we're going to say something together after they're all collected.
Where's yours?
Okay.
She never wants to do the work. She thinks it up.
Oh, I do.
No, she's perfect. Your brother should have given it this morning, huh?
That's he can listen to it. I'm gonna set it up so he can listen to it. He's going to church in Los Panos.
I know, but you have this recorded?
Yeah,
Is it perfect for him?
he's gonna hear that. He's gonna hear that on the recording too.
What?
She's
Okay.
recording it.
All right, this is recorded. All right, mine is in there. There we go. And so hold the bowl up as we say this. All together. Repeat after me. I know that release is magnetic.
I know that release is magnetic.
Through the act of release,
Through the act of release,
I now draw to myself my own.
I now draw to myself my own.
I release and I let go.
I release and I let go.
I let go and grow.
I let go and grow.
I let go and trust.
I let go and trust.
That's it. Okay. Now, go dump them in the trash. It's very ceremonial, dumping in the trash.
Oh,
That's gone.
They're gone. Okay. Thank you, Suzanne. Now, on to embracing the truth. Through this release, we just created space, didn't we? We just released it. We've created space so that we can do something very, very, very important. And this is space so that we can embrace the truth. And I'm going to put the pen down before I hurt myself. Okay. Because we know that there's never a vacuum in the universe, right? When you clear out something, we all know that when you clean out your closet, you're making room for new, because it always gets filled back in somehow, doesn't it? And when we clear out negative thoughts, we want to fill it with what we want. And that's something to be important too. You never want to leave it empty. You want to replace it with a positive thought. You want to replace it with affirmations. So Dr. Holmes tells us the arms and hands represent our ability to grasp ideas, to uphold our convictions of the truth, to reach out and grab reality, to be a partaker of the divine benefits. Doesn't it sound great? I want to be a partaker of the divine benefits. I want us to reach out and grab reality, to be partakers of the divine benefits right now by embracing some very important truths. And what are these truths that we're going to embrace? How about these for starters? I'm going to say them slowly, and I'll read them again too, because I want you to be thinking about which ones you want to start embracing at a whole new level of depth. Okay, so let's just go through these. God is divine right action and limitless possibilities. It is the nature of life to express and create. Spirit supports its own expression. You're always divinely supported. Nothing is greater than God. That which I desire in my heart is God's desire for me. Abundance is here and now. Abundance is my divine inheritance. Principle is not bound by precedent. Just because something always worked the way it did before does not mean it will always work that way in the future. Principle is not bound by precedent. In God, all things are possible. Money is God in action. God is my source. I am an integral part of the body of God. There is that within me that knows. A pattern of perfection lives at my core. Love is infinite. I am whole, perfect, and complete. God is the power and wisdom that transcends all conditions. And I'm going to read that list again more slowly, and I want you to ask yourself, what spiritual truth do I want to start embracing right now? And maybe it's the one that I read, maybe it's more than one, maybe it's not one that I read, but one that you already know within the depths of your being. But whatever they are, I want you to write it down. What comes to you, write it on the other piece of paper, and that's the one that you're going to take with you. And you're going to put it where you can see it often. You can reduce it, laminate it, put it in your wallet, memorize it, and have it on your as your mantra. And do whatever you need to do to embrace that. So let me go through those again, just unless you already have one that is what you want. God is divine right action and limitless possibilities. It is the nature of life to express and create. Spirit supports its own expression. Nothing is greater than God. That which I desire is in my heart is God's desire for me. What I desire in my heart is God's desire for me. Abundance is here and now. Abundance is my divine inheritance. Principle is not bound by precedent. In God, all things are possible. Money is God in action. God is my source. I am an integral part of the body of God. There is that within me that knows. A pattern of perfection lives at my core. Love is infinite. I am whole, perfect, and complete. God is the power and wisdom that transcends all conditions. So as I said, take that with you, keep that with you, read it every day, embrace it. Let that truth be the cornerstone in a new foundation for you. Let that truth be an unshakable, immovable, solid principle for you. A truth student many years ago wrote these beautiful words entitled, "Truth is the lighthouse of your soul." Her name was Corrine Hoppin. She wrote, "What is truth? Truth is love of oneself. It is the ultimate expectation of the soul. Truth's beam becomes an eternal lighthouse guiding the way for those who are lost. It will chart your way and pilot your struggles over the rippling waters until you reach your destination. Deliverance of thyself is the message the beam will send throughout the storms of life. You will see its illumination, for there is no fury that can match the essence of its light. Light has a great distinction unto itself. It burrows through fears and deception. It is the shouldering of responsibility that will carry you forth into the unknown to reach your peace. Stay in your truth, and you will always weather the storm." As we embark upon 2014, I invite you to continue to release that which clutters your consciousness and to stay in your truth. In fact, to embrace the truth, and you will do more than weather the storm. You will calm the storm. And then, not only will this be a December to remember, but you will create a life to remember. Happy New Year, and so it is.